Give me 2 seconds. Okay, good. I thought the fucking logo was slapped on that shit. How's it going, everybody? Welcome, welcome. We're gonna be going over some news today. The Kirk Assassin still hasn't been caught, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. Like, with all of the cameras on that event, for not a single one to, I guess, have a better view. They released a picture of it. How's it going, pink person? Yo, yo. It's just kind of crazy that they haven't got him yet, but I guess when you have Kash Patel and Dan Bongino running shit, they will probably run it directly into the ground. I assume their strategy for... The general strategy for finding the shooter is to go to, say these are all houses, right? They're just going to every single Democrat house, I assume. Like, Dem, Repub. They're just going to these. They're like, oh, sorry. Sorry, ma'am. Couldn't have been in this building. We must search the next one. So, it's just kind of cringe. I'm so confused. What are you confused at? What's the confusion? One of the things I did want to talk about was this. The MSNBC firing one of their analysts. Why are we talking about Democrats? Why wouldn't we be? I just got the Twitch notification. Big notification angle. Hold on, my work just texted me. Ugh. Well, after Charlie Kirk got shot, they're just trying to assume that it's a Dem that did it, which is interesting because, I mean, it could be anybody. Like, that's also one of the things. Like, I see it on, like, everyone I feel like is jumping to an insane amount of conclusions about, like, why he did what he did, and, you know. I read something earlier today that was like, oh, he must be a professional, like, hitman. It's like, based on, are we, like, basing this on anything? Like, I don't know anything about guns, so people said it was a super long and hard shot. It's like, oh, maybe it was, you know? Should have went for Trump? No comment. I have this argument with one of my brothers about political violence, and if it's a quote-unquote, like, necessary thing. I just disagree. I don't think political violence actually moves the political spectrum, like, toward more neutral ground. Like, if you look at, like apartheid South Africa, like Nelson Mandela, you know, the figurehead for that, like, movement, a lot of his successful, like, pushing to get rid of, like, apartheid was post his release from jail, when he, like, basically toned down the violence and toned up, like, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, optics. Like, think about, like, Israel, Gaza. Like, people will talk about, that it's a genocide and this is so bad, you know? And then they're, like, confused why the world, but, like, optically it just looks horrible. With October 6th, it's, like, a really hard thing to justify, like, oh, like, but this group now wants peace, you know? Optics is such a key component when pushing for, like, neutrality. Kind of makes like a cult. Why are you fighting? Exactly. No, I agree with that too. It's just like violence, I feel like, doesn't solve anything generally. Like, obviously, in, like, cases of, like, World War II, I'm not one of those people that's like, all war is bad. Like, there are necessary wars. But a lot of that, I guess, too, is retrospective, like, looking back on it. It's like, say, for instance, like, could there be a world where, with, like, and again, I'm speaking very broadly because I don't have much knowledge on the Weimar Republic or, you know, the buildup of, like, 1930s Germany, but, like, I imagine there probably could be a world where appeasement did actually avoid a war, and, like, if Hitler didn't completely, you know, radicalize with, you know, the whole, obviously, like, the Holocaust and demonization of his own public, like, there's probably a war where appeasement works and he just kind of, like, does make a stronger Germany and doesn't, like, kill people. but like 9 times out of 10 it probably doesn't. So like appeasement isn't a strategy. But I don't even know where I was going with that. But yeah, I don't think political violence is an effective tool. Do you want to watch this?
Back live with that, Christina.
That's right, Tracy. We're hearing that this political contributor, Matthew Dode, got fired. And unfortunately, some on the left in the media, they've made some controversial comments following Charlie Kirk's political.
Do you think that, like, when they get off screen from saying, like, dumb shit like that, like, if they just, like, laugh, they're like, oh, that's funny. Like, I guess a question would be, how many people at Fox News were fired for joking about Nancy Pelosi's husband getting his, brains bashed in? Like, how many people were fired there? Probably, I would assume zero. But maybe this guy's statement is crazy, because I've yet to actually hear what he said. So maybe he's got a crazy statement.
Take a listen.
After one of the Doge employees was allegedly attacked in Washington, D.C., that's what Donald Trump used as justification to send in federal troops into Washington, D.C. to get things under control. No. You can imagine the administration.
So, okay, why even show that first clip? Like, that makes sense. They did use the Doge quote-unquote attack, because I have read that that's contested, so we'll see. I haven't deep dove into it. Who knows if it was actually an attack or not. To weaponize the National Guard in DC. So, like, that's just, like, I feel like a statement with the facial. Yeah, like, literally. So, okay, so maybe it leads up to something.
Using this as a justification.
All milk is gross. I am big milk hater. My fiance loves milk, drinks like 8 gallons of it a day. I hate milk. Hate milk.
For something.
We don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, or so we have no idea about this.
That's a stupid. We don't know. Okay. If that's the take that got him fired, I don't think he should be fired, but like they should probably slap a label. Like just maybe you should fire him, not because like his comment was like divisive, because it's just maybe somebody like by mistake shot in the general direction and hit him in the throat. That's okay.
But following up on what was just said, he's been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this, who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of hate speech.
Yeah, so that comment got him in some pretty big...
That's the comment that got him fired? Him just going like, yeah, Charlie Kirk is like really fucking divisive and has said a lot of shit that a lot of people find a lot of problems with. That's what gets you fired now? So I guess we're back on the train that if somebody dies, it's illegal to critique them. Like, you're not allowed to critique them whatsoever. It's interesting. I thought that he was going to be like, yeah, like, it was justified or like some dumb shit like that. But I feel like he didn't even like justify it. He's just like, yeah, like, I mean, stupid comment about the gun accidentally going off. And then being like, yeah, like Charlie Kirk is super divisive and has spread a lot of hate speech. We're talking about, I think it didn't look like he was a reporter. It looked like he was an analyst, it says, but he's probably just like a guy who like, they'll call in. I don't know, maybe, let's see if is he a full-time? That's something I should Google. MSNBC analyst fired. Was he full-time? Like, I don't know if he's like a full-time guy who works. Yeah, he's just a contracted contributor. Dowd suggested that Kirk's rhetoric contributed to climate of political violence with remarks like hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions. I mean, not necessarily, but it's also... He was a political analyst. His appearances were on an as-needed basis. So yeah, he was like a guy. Why they got a random guy who got fired in the news?
Yeah, so that comment got him in...
Because Fox will then turn this into, like, the Democrats are enforcing like the most violent rhetoric. They're even firing the reporters. You listen to that, it's like that's not even like
Some pretty big trouble. MSNBC quickly addressed how inappropriate it was, writing, quote, during our breaking news coverage of the shooting of Charlie Kirk, Matthew Dode made comments that were inappropriate, insensitive, and unacceptable. We apologize for his statements, as has he. There is no place for violence in America, political or otherwise. And tonight, President Donald...
Did I miss? Okay, again, maybe, why would Fox not show? Did he justify violence at any point? Like at any, I didn't hear any justification of violence at any point.
Trump also called out anyone making comments demonizing those who disagree with them politically.
It's a long past time for all Americans and the media to confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those with whom you disagree day after day, year after year.
Okay, I agree with that.
In the most hateful and despicable way possible.
That's right. No.
Okay, now I have to watch that full thing. I feel like they cut it before he probably went and immediately because Trump demonized, like, that's all he does is demonize fucking Dems and left people. I'm surprised he didn't work the word Biden in. I honestly, the fact that Biden hasn't been arrested surprises me. That they didn't like be like, I'm pretty sure that I'm surprised that they're not like Biden actually did it. Biden was actually behind the mask. Violence and murder is bad. Yeah, coming from Donald Trump, love it. It's really frustrating because I feel like all day today I just kept hearing this like the two-sided bullshit that like, oh, like both sides have been like causing this political rhetoric to heat up, and it's like it just feels so unilateral. It just feels like it's like 80% of it's coming from one direction. Like you're standing in the middle of an intersection and you're like, there's too much traffic coming from both directions, and on one side you have 1,000 cars an hour fucking zooming in, and the other side you have like 20 cars an hour and they're all like, you know, just kind of like flying by. Am I missing like the and as the it's just so frustrating. Like Democratic like state senator, state congressperson, like actually assassinated, murdered in their own home. Who cares? Like, we don't, you want to, yeah, dude. And like some of the who's that fucker? The oh my god, I watched like a clip of this earlier. One of like the majority, not the Majority Report. I can't even think of, it was one of the like the right-wing podcasters who's like, I'm not going to stand for this, like this is a call for war, and it's like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, who's okay
under a baseball cap?
The shooter.
Did they
took
identify
just
him
one
yet?
shot. And today authorities released this image of a person of interest. They believe the shooter is college age and threw the murder weapon away in the woods when he made his getaway. Jim Murray is in Utah with the very latest.
This is the person of interest.
He doesn't strike me as college aged. Like maybe? Like, you cut off the top of his face. I feel like his cheekbones look a little too like flush. Get me in here.
In the
Call me up,
assassination
Cash
of
Patel.
Charlie
I could
Kirk.
find him.
He's apparently
Because he was a moment of silence to call some random guy. Literally, like the Vice President of the United States skipped a 9/11 memorial to fly over to Utah. It's literally, it's kind of just cringe, you know? It's not even like it's just kind of cringe. We need to get back to just calling like Republicans weird and cringe. I feel like we got off that train with Waltz, and I'm down that train. I was talking about it yesterday, but we need to bring retarded back. This guy kind of looks like you. Chaz, shut the fuck up. If I had a pair of sunglasses. Do I have a hat? I do have a hat. Hold up. You put a hat on. Like, If I shaved? Do I look like a generic, like, I feel like this guy just looks like a super generic, like, white guy. I don't think he looks young, but that could just be me. This guy, to me, this guy looks like 30s, like late 20s, early 30s, which is what I am. Yeah, like you, literally. I don't know. I don't see it. Him being college aged.
Attempting to hide his identity under a baseball cap and
I like, what was that? What are some of these comments? Like, is being a reporter that easy? You're like, looks like he's trying to hide his identity. You can tell he's trying to hide because you see his driver's license is in his back pocket and he doesn't have it in his hand brandishing to the camera. Like most people do when they walk by a camera. You just take your driver's license out and you just like hold it up. I don't even think this guy's like, he's like literally trying the like spy movie shit where you just wear sunglasses and a baseball cap. Maybe it works. I've never been part of law enforcement. Maybe that shit works. Maybe like the only reason people get caught doing crimes is they forget their baseball hat at home. Like they break into somebody's house and they're like, fuck, I forgot a baseball hat. I'm fucked. They just think DNA, like DNA is actually just a complete myth. It's all just about the baseball
dark
hat.
glasses. His shirt emblazoned with the star
Why do they call them dark glasses? They're sunglasses. These aren't dark glasses.
and stripes and the slogan, "Land of the Free, Home of the Brave."
How did they pull such a clear image from this? This has to be, I guess, off the shirt website.
That individual appears to be of college age. We are confident in our abilities to track that individual.
Go, run, run! According to reports, his motive appears to be political.
I see, this is the shit I can't stand. According to reports, we're gonna write this out. I'm gonna trigger the, this is gonna sound so semantical, but like to me it's according, I'm not writing this out. Can I type it? Can you type in Paint? How do you type? Let's just break down how stupid this sentence is. Okay, according to reports. What reports? Like, what reports could have more information than what we know right now? All we know is that Charlie Kirk got shot, and we have a blurry picture of the guy who did it. We have no other information has been released to the public. So according to reports is pretty much like, I'm just pulling this out of my ass. Or just kind of like, according to vibes, we'll just cross out reports. According to vibes / Twitter, his motive appears political. Reminds me of a black light bulb. Literally, like, what are you supposed to do? What kind of gun did I use? A rifle? Didn't they say they found, I think they said they found the rifle in the woods. His motive appears political. What? Why are we assuming this? I know it sounds like, okay, Charlie Kirk is a political figure. So people are like, his motive appears political. That is a huge assumption that we have no basis for. Like the basis for this right here is that Charlie Kirk is a political commentator. Like is that literally just the assumption we're going on? For all we know, he was shot because like by accident, and the real target was like a guy to his right. Like, anybody else see that Monk episode where like a political guy was like giving a speech and he's like, hi, like giving a speech, and his like security guard was over here, and the security guard gets shot and they're like, oh, the target was this guy, but it turns out it was actually the security guard. So I think the FBI needs to watch more Monk. And I just don't like this because it's just like it's just an assumption with like the backing just being like, well, Charlie Kirk's political. And it's like, okay, like maybe, like probably, but still, like this whole sentence is just fucking meaningless. This whole sentence could be boiled down to like, it could be, sure, maybe, like maybe it was a trans-dimensional like Sasquatch. It gives me like ghost vibes where it's just like, oh, like yeah, maybe, cool, sure. Fucking stupid statement.
Since bullets were found engraved with expressions of transgender and anti-fascist.
This right here, by the way, is bullshit. Why didn't I watch 5 more seconds? I could have raved about it. Twitter doesn't exist anymore. Sorry, X. Gonna ban you from my chat. If I banned Kirsten from chat, I think she'd come down and beat my ass. That might be the most popular clip that I've ever done on Twitch. If Kirsten comes down and just beats me to death. So this right here, by the way, was proven to be wrong. So this was started, I think, by... I saw a report that Steven Crowder was the first one to say this. That, yeah, the bullets had, like, trans something. The second bullet had something about fascism. And then the police chief came out and he's like, I don't know what the fuck any of you idiots are talking about. That's bullshit. So I was even proven more right. In the sense that that statement was like, it appears to be political based on shit I saw on Twitter that's just false. That's wrong. Is that how... Inside Edition, the reporting in Inside Edition is legitimately like, yeah, we're just scrolling on Twitter. We scrolled on Twitter for a bit, and yeah, we think we know who the shooter is. It's Hunter Biden. You can tell because Hunter Biden's big, meaty wiener. If Elon dead names his daughter, I'm dead naming his app. Imagine buying one of the most like brand recognized apps in the world and changing the name. Everyone knows what Twitter is. Like, if I'm at work and somebody's like, oh, like, did you see this tweet? I'd be like, yeah. If somebody's like, did you see this X? I'd be like, did you have, like, the other 25 letters? Guys, she's down here. Guys, she has a gun. God.
Fascist ideology. And as the hunt for him intensifies, we're getting a clearer picture of his murderous act. 11:52 a.m.
We're getting a clearer picture of his murderous act. We got that immediately. This isn't, what do you mean a clear picture? Like, we have a different angle of it? This, what dog shit reporting is this?
On campus at Utah Valley University and
oh man.
To the roof of
we're gonna be able to get him now. We have eight pictures. We have 8 pixels of this guy. Is he a turtle? Tell me that Leonardo, like, where were the Mutant Ninja Turtles? I don't know the other ones' names. Capriatos, Leonardo.
I don't know what
Da Vinci.
You're making up words.
No, they're all the artists. It's like Da Vinci, Leonardo, Capriato.
What's Capriato?
Isn't that I don't fucking know.
Also, I'm pretty sure it's Leonardo da Vinci. One of them's Raphael.
Raphael.
We're talking about the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah,
right?
Raphael, Leonardo, Da Vinci. Samson?
Stop saying random names, especially because I don't know the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Michelangelo.
Oh, Michelangelo.
And I don't remember.
That's all 4. Leonardo, Da Vinci, Michelangelo,
no,
Raphael.
they're not. Leonardo da Vinci is one of them.
No. Well, this is the one. It's Da Vinci. We fucking found him.
I thought it was
the Losi
Mario.
Student Center.
Well,
somebody on the roof right there?
I love the comments on some of these Twitter videos like, I think somebody's up on the roof right there.
He was videotaped on the roof, lying in wait like a sniper with a clear line of sight.
Lying in wait like a sniper. No, I'm like pretty sure he was a sniper, right? Like what is a sniper? It's somebody who uses a gun from a long range. Like, ChatGPT had to have wrote this fucking news report.
Kirk's tent was set up. 12:15 p.m. Charlie Kirk arrives, tosses hats to the crowd. 12:20, a shot rings out. The conservative activist slumps in his seat and collapses to the ground.
Why are they zooming in on him right there?
Becca Hales was 30 feet away and shot this video as she dove for cover.
I was in shock, but I got down. I was in shock, but
as she dove.
These two guys? They look like they were down there before.
For cover.
They look like they were going at it for a while.
But I got down. I was with 3 other friends. They disappeared, and then I was getting trampled as we tried to run out.
His bodyguards rushed to help him, desperately trying to revive him, but he was hopeless.
There's literally nothing that can be done in that situation. That was a fatal wound, and I don't care if there was a trauma surgeon at the end of the steps there on the stage. There's very little chance that anybody would have been able to do anything to save his life at that point.
As the crowd flees in panic, Kirk is carried away by his team and rushed to the hospital in an SUV. This video apparently shows the shooter fleeing across the roof.
After the shooting, we were able to track his movements as he...
Wait, is this literally all the... like, there's a 3-minute video, and they have, like, 8 pixels of him, and then an image that I assume the cops release, like, to try to catch him. News today is... okay, news today is just AI. It's all AI. It's all AI, and it's all based on vibes. Holy shit. How do news people do this all day? I watch, like, 5 minutes of this shit, and I'm immediately, like, I'm just triggered. What, Bear?
Memes.
Dude, literally it's memes. It's Joe Rogan. What's Joe Rogan got?
The Joe Rogan Experience.
The smartest man on earth.
This just happened. We just found out that Charlie Kirk got shot.
It's fucking awful.
And is he dead?
Is that Charlie Sheen?
That's what was just...
One of the guys out there
That's
just said
Charlie Sheen
confirmed that he's dead.
In the lobby was just...
I've been looking. I haven't seen anything that said
Yeah.
confirmed.
Kirsten's the side chat.
Whoa.
Insightful commentary by Joe
Twitch
Rogan.
looks so different.
This isn't Twitch. I'm streaming to both YouTube.
Oh, that would be why it looks so different, I guess.
Who is that? The voice in the background? My fiance, Kirsten.
Hi.
God, it's just... I feel like it's just so boring. Like, there's just no new information out about it, and just, like, you Google Charlie Kirk, or you YouTube it, and there's just, like, 800 videos about it that just all have the exact same shit. People already have, like, renditions of the thing? What?
Well, 'cause people have...
How is there a 13-minute, like, rendition with the, you know... They have this slow-mo of the bullet shooting out. Oh my God.
I actually, if I was 200 yards away, would you lean to the other side? I can do it.
I think you could. Where's the director of our FBI? One of the things I love about our current government right now is that they were picked because they were the best people for the job, you know? Like they weren't what is it called? They were just like the best people for the job. And it's just, yeah, it's just really nice that we didn't just completely pick like absolute fucking maniacs like to lead the FBI. I'm trying to find a video of somebody reading Kash Patel's book. Current head of our FBI, by the way. Uwa bot? Do bots ever work? Doop doop doo. There was, I can't find like a reading of it. But yeah, Kash Patel wrote a book called The Plot Against the King, which is just like a real weird telling of January 6th, and it's just like fucking depressing that he's the head of our FBI. But I guess like that's also probably why we haven't gotten anywhere with anything, because the people running the FBI are about as qualified as I am, and they're probably sitting there like enhance that, like, you know, those old like what is it, like CIS videos where somebody would like be like enhance and they like bring up the image and we get like way more clear. Pretty sure that's what our current FBI system is like. Also, Chaz says it's just wild. It's just like depressing too, man. It just kind of fucking sucks that our like current political system is like this, and there's literally nothing to do about it, but just watch as we slowly do. There actually is a lot to do about it. People just need to be more politically motivated to go out and like do stuff. Oh, we have live coverage.
Build a website you love.
From, what is Agenda Free TV? Why does it have 35,000 views? It's live coverage of current events is some of the most annoying shit possible because of the fact that just misinformation is spread so hard. Okay.
On Wednesday, September 10th,
Let's
2025, Charlie Kirk speaks at an event in Orem, Utah. It is at the Sorensen Center courtyard on the campus of Utah Valley University.
Got rid of that shit. Huh?
The event, part of his American Comeback Tour, features his signature Prove Me Wrong debate format. Kirk is positioned at a table beneath a large tent. Students come up and have a chance to ask him a question and debate with him. Approximately 20 minutes into his presentation, an audience member identified as a student questions him about mass shootings.
Do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years? Too many.
Thanks, Bear.
I'm gonna give you some credit. Do you know how many shooters there have been?
How's it going, DJ M?
Kirk
Yeah, I'm
asks a
back.
question,
Don't worry.
but then it gets interrupted.
Back again.
Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
Oh my god. So is this, okay, again, is this 10-minute rendered video have no, like, what's the point of this video? Like, am I just
When
missing
Charlie
something?
is 18 years old, he speaks at a college. He just seems like any other young American conservative. But at that college, he catches someone's eye. Will Montgomery sees that Charlie gets attention.
Oh, so it's just like a background of Charlie Kirk. I just feel like there's no, which again is just really surprising to me. That congested of an area with like all eyes on it right now, and I feel like we've come up with absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing tangible, while every single political pundit on the right is shitting, pissing their pants, screeching about the left turning up the like information while literally doing it while actively turning up the heat. Like there's like a roaring fire and they're just like throwing wood in, going like, I can't believe Democrats are doing this. Why are they doing this to us? It's so hot. It's like, it's just so frustrating. South Park's gonna have a field day. Man, I haven't seen much of this new season. One, because it's on Paramount. And I'm not paying for Paramount Plus. But, like, I've seen stuff, and some of it's funny. But I feel like they just did, like, a lot of this stuff just seems, like, boring. Like, boring and surface level, you know? Like, I hope they go in, like, harder. Because that's also my thing right now. Is, like, you have January 6th that nobody really gives a fuck about anymore. But, like, what is it, like 18 of the people from Michigan? Was it Michigan that just got let off? That got found not guilty? Jan 6, fake electors found not guilty. Because nobody even knows about the fake electorate scheme. Yeah, Michigan judge. Michigan fake electors won't face criminal trial, judge rules. Where's... Can I just get the... I just want the, just like the judge ruling. Nevada, was it Nevada? I'm seeing Michigan, and no, that's 2024. It was 15. These cases will not be bound over to the circuit course. Each case will be dismissed. Simmons, who is the district court judge, said the Michigan Republicans involved in the effort were trying to seek redress after President Donald Trump's loss and attempted to perform their civic duties. The prosecution, I should drag this over. Remember me from the Skyblock days? Dude, I do, DJ. How's it going, dude? How have you been? The prosecution would like the court to believe that these named defendants were savvy or sophisticated enough to fully understand the electoral process, which the court does disagree because the document that was presented doesn't even align with the level of sophistication that they want me to believe. So, if I'm understanding this correctly, her reasoning is, I'm pretty sure they're retarded and couldn't, and like the plot that they tried was equally retarded. So there's no way that this would have worked. This alternate document doesn't state it's an official document of the state of Michigan, noting that the defendants did not try to forge the government signature or create a fake seal. Michigan electors scheme. Let me drag this to make sure when I go to images. I want to find the New Mexico paper fake PDF. I want a PDF. Used a PDF describing the charges against the 16. This document outlines the alleged conspiracy to commit forgery. Where's this PDF? I want the PDF. Gimme. December 14th, 2020. Certified electors in all 50 states convened to carry out their official duties related to the 2020 presidential election and award their state's electoral votes in accordance with their state election laws. The election in Michigan was procedurally the same as in every previous modern presidential election. Nearly 5.5 million Michigan voters cast their ballots. A successful canvass in all 83 counties and multiple audits performed by the Secretary of State determined that the Democratic nominee, Joseph R. Biden, received over 2.8 million votes, approximately 154,000 more votes than the Republican incumbent Donald J. Trump. The results were then certified by the bipartisan Michigan Board of State Canvassers, and the sitting governor officially recognized Michigan's 16 electors who, in accordance with Michigan's election laws, convened on December 14th in the state Senate at 2:00 p.m. Despite this, the groundwork was laid for a plan to send alternate slates of Trump electors to Congress in an attempt to outmaneuver and circumvent the long-standing electoral college process. As part of this orchestrated plan, we allege that the 16 Michigan residents met covertly in the basement of Michigan GOP headquarters and knowingly and of their own volition signed their names to multiple certificates stating that they were, this is a quote, the duly elected and qualified electors for President and Vice President of the United States of America for the state of Michigan. So is the circuit judge's ruling that, like, yeah, they did meet there, they did sign these papers and claim these things, but they didn't have they didn't have a fake seal on it? That just feels so disingenuous. That was a lie. They weren't the duly elected and qualified electors, and each of the defendants knew it. They carried out these actions with the hope and belief that the electoral votes in Michigan's 2020 election would be awarded to the candidate of their choosing instead of the candidate that Michigan voters actually chose. After signing these fraudulent electoral documents, some of the false electors attempted to enter the state capitol and deliver their fabricated electoral votes to the Senate floor but were turned away. The false electoral documents were then conveyed to the United States Senate and the National Archives in the intent that Vice President Pence would overturn the results of the election using the false electoral slate. I want to see, do they have... They don't have a picture of it, but like, if we're to believe that they're not lying about these documents, that these people met in a basement, signed a paper trying to pretend that they were the true electors of Michigan, went to the Congress on January 6th during the, what is that, like, not swearing in, but the official, like, electing of the president with the electors, and then tried to basically fraudulently present themselves as the real electors. And the reasoning is that would like to believe that these named defendants were savvy or sophisticated enough to understand fully the electoral process. So is the claim here that they were lied to and they truly did believe that they were the real ones? I would love to... This alternate document doesn't state it's an official document of the state of Michigan, noting the defendants did not try... So is the judge's statement here is that they were literally LARPing and it was all like a big goof? Like, oh, they were just joking. Like, it was a big fucking joke. These people all just happened to meet in the basement. They happened to pretend that they were the electors. They happened to then show up at the State House, like as a goof, they thought it was Halloween, so they dressed up as, real electors, presented themselves as such, along with 6 other slates of fake electors from other states, with a plan in place for Pence to then throw out the true electoral ballots. But she's basically saying that they weren't smart enough to do any of that, and they were just too stupid. Yeah, like, I feel like the evidence is very clear. Like, they lied, they knew they lied, they were trying to steal. This is just like a wild ruling to me. Like, I want to read the, ruling fake electors. I want to read the, like, actual ruling, PDF. Does it have... I guess this has more of it. Said she saw no intent to commit fraud in the defendant's actions. Whether they were right, wrong, or indifferent, they seriously believed there were problems with the election. I believe they were executing their constitutional right to seek redress. That isn't the... Somebody really needs to explain to this judge that seeking redress, you do that in a court, right? There were 69 court cases filed by Donald Trump and his team trying to overturn the election, and 68 of them were found not true. I think there was one in Pennsylvania that, like, barely changed any votes and didn't change the overall outcome. Like, the redress here isn't to sending fake electors. Again, like, I would love, like, where's the rationale for this? Supporters of the crowd in the hallway. One would have hugged. Investigators said the group falsely saying that electors were then part of the election, accused and blah 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 blah. And yep, of course, here's MAGA activists, former Republican Party co-chair. There needs to be major consequences for people who have brought this. That feels like turning up the political news. Said her office consider. Of course, you appealed this decision, but the legal to overturn the ruling is high under Michigan law and center on whether Simmons abused her discretion in missing the charges after hearing evidence. Remarks said the case is not about who won, but about the intent. Well, yeah, but I feel like you can make a pretty clear. I feel like this is doing that thing that I can't stand when people are like, how can you possibly know the intent? You know, if you can't exist in somebody's head, can you ever truly know what somebody's thinking? And it's like, well, yeah, you can't 100% know, but like we do this every single day of our lives where like we know intent. It's like a friend blows you off and it's like, I wonder why I did that. It's like, well, you can kind of read in between the lines of his actions. Or in a courtroom, it's just like, well, like, do we know this is murder? It's like, well, can we ever prove the intent? Typically, people who are seeking to defraud or deceive the public do not gather and make a spectacle. That would be weird. This is why this is so uniquely bad. That this was done all out in public. Also, they didn't gather and make a spectacle. They met in a fucking basement of the GOP, and then they tried to sneak it into Congress. The president of the goddamn United States, the sitting president at the time of the United States, was involved in this plan. What a weird, like, what a weird thing to say that, like, oh, well, typically people don't do this. Could you use that defense for a murder case? Be like, well, typically people don't just walk into broad daylight and shoot somebody. That'd be weird. The judge said Maddox appeared to have direct contact with the Trump campaign, that she could have entertained her culpability, but the Maddox public statement at the time allowed the judge believe she was seeking redress from state senators and presenting them with an... What is an alternate choice of electors? That's not a fucking thing. It's not like you show up and you're like, well, we have like 4 different ones. Pick your fucking one. It's like, no, there was the legal one sent by Michigan State. And then there's just an alternate one, just in case somebody, it's just a fucking, they thought it was Halloween. It's the Halloween choice of electors. These are wild statements. She was seeking redress from her states. The prosecutor, like the court, yeah, okay, no one attempted to create a fake seal. So is that like if they would have created the fake seal, that would have sealed the deal? No pun intended. Yeah, like actually this though, directly impaired on government function. So does that mean every election from here on out, every state's going to send 40 different slates of electors? And then like the people at the state house, the Congress are going to have to figure it out the day of by looking through all their papers to find the real official seal, because as long as you don't try to fake that, you're fine. This feels just so weird. Promise retribution. They're going to pay for what they did to these people. Who's turning up the political discourse? Holy shit. Retribution. They're going to pay. They're at war with us. Goddamn lefties. She's plan was to act as a backup. What does that mean? That's not how the United States' system of government works. We don't have backups. We don't have like a backup. You don't go when you vote and you're like, okay, that's your vote. Can you give me a backup ballot? It's just so weird. The fake elector scheme. None of the cases have neared the trial stage, and many have been bogged down procedural and appellate delays. Of course, effort to secure civic electors essential. Yeah. Jack Smith is probably just screaming into the void by now. Like, imagine spending like a year of your life presenting this like case just for it to be like, nah, it's fucking memes. The president has pretty much the power to do whatever the fuck he wants, as long as it appears to be under like his presidential duties. And then you rewrite it, and then it's just like, time's up. Sorry. These people thought these people were backups. They were just fucking backups. They thought it was October 31st. My fucking bad. My bad. God. After signing the fraudulent, some of the false electors attempted to say their plan to reject the will of the voters and undermine democracy was fraudulent and legally baseless. This is all true. None of this, I don't even think, is being contested, right? That there's no legal basis for backups. Like, I would like to point to any law in Michigan, like electoral law, where they're like, yeah, we have like 8 different backups. I think the only one was the Hawaii vote, right? That they sent 2 different ones because they were still counting. I hope they asked the suspect. Yeah, exactly. It's like, what was your motive? Like, were you just like, was it a goof when you committed whatever? Like, if I walk into a Target and steal a bunch of Pokemon cards, I'd be like, guys, I thought this was my house. Oh my god, this Target isn't my house? What the hell? And these aren't I thought these were my Pokemon cards. Whoopsie. My bad. I still get to keep them though, because I thought they were mine. Like, that's, again, I don't know law. I've been trying to read a lot more court cases, but like, never fine. Defendants knowingly made, filed, or published a false document for a purpose under Michigan election law, acted with intended fraud. Maybe it was this that they couldn't prove. I'm trying to think. Is there a world where I would have understood the judge's ruling if she was like, these people were just too stupid. I think they were deceived. They thought that what they were doing was legal. But I feel like her reasoning wasn't that. Then it did, like, her reasoning was like, their reasoning was like, they thought they were doing it right. And her other reasoning is like, dude, this would be so weird if this were true. Like, she's holding up the paper and she's like, man, this would be fucking, wouldn't this be bananas if this were true? And like, the prosecutors were like, yeah, like, it is kind of bananas. And she's like, I hate bananas. Fuck, man. I could not be a prosecutor. I would lose my goddamn shit. Either way, violence and murder accomplish nothing good in the end. To go to length to murder someone must consider serious mental health as a culprit. No, I agree with that, Forgotten. Again, like, political violence, I don't think is ever... I should look more into, like, the civil rights movement, because, like, I know, like, when I, like, took history class, like, people, MLK, like, the peaceful, and, like, Malcolm X was the violent one. And I've always heard that, like, oh, Malcolm X did forward the movement, but, like, the little research, the little, you know, stuff that I've read about it, it really does seem that, like, the nonviolent aspect was the stuff that actually got, like, political will and, you know, stuff changed. I don't think violence generally accomplishes too much, other than just making yourself look like an asshole. I just don't get, like, the criminal intent part of this. Like, so the case is not about who won, but the intent of the people charged. Well, obviously, that's, like, the idea of the case. This was not an election interference case. It kind of, I guess it wasn't. It's about defrauding. I'd like the court to believe the names. Just, like, this whole comment is so fucking, like, this comment is weird. Like, the court to believe the names is savvy or... Maybe in her full... Like, I feel like I'm giving too much leeway. Like, maybe in her full statement it makes more sense. But, like, these things just feel weird. Like, yeah, why were you trying to defraud the United States? I don't even know how we got on the Michigan thing, but... Oh, good old Michigan, I guess. Some of the election laws cases include... Our department has investigated and sought the prosecution of multiple election fraud. A nursing home employee who completed absentee ballot application rather than not requested one. But, like, yeah, whatever. It's all memes. It's all fucking jokes. It's all vibes. Literally, like, some of the reasoning for that case seemed to be like, wouldn't it be weird? It'd be so fucking weird if this were true. Fucking Sag. Big fucking Sag. But maybe the prosecution blundered. Like, if I were to have watched, like, parts of the trial, I would have been like, oh. Like, that makes more sense. Like, maybe one of their points was... bad. Just feels like a little bit of that red doesn't feel similar to that. Is there any new news? I really thought that they would have caught the guy by now. I thought after, like, an hour or two, I'm like, the guy, like, I assume is, like, nearby. It's just boomer YouTube slop. As far as Charlie was an advocate for truth and morally just viewpoints. Interesting. So do you think, like, it was, like, morally just after the Nancy Pelosi attack for him to, like, make jokes about it and call the guy patriot and then claim with no basis that both him and Pelosi's husband were gay? I feel like that's not being an advocate for the truth as much as being a dick suck, right wing, literally just slop. Just no matter what happens, he'll take a political side and just suck on the teat of something. But hey, to each their own, I guess. What's Big Brother? Isn't that like the British TV show? Big Brother. Isn't that the British reality show? You Google Big Brother and the first thing is just like, break silence and shocking Big Brother exit. I never expected for my game to come down to that. I do miss watching reality TV. I was such a big 90 Day Fiancé fan. It's American? Really? I thought it was British. I'm Googling it. It's being Googled. There's both an American and British version. It originated in Dutch, which was then adapted into both American and British versions in 2000. Oh. So apparently it came from the Dutch. Interesting. So we have the Dutch to blame for Big Brother. Man, I just goddamn did I love 90 Day Fiancé. That show kind of slapped. Now I watch some of that. When I lived in Australia, there was a show called MKR, which was My Kitchen Rules. That show slapped. It was like a cooking show that like the Thor, the guy who played Thor, his brother was on that show. Apparently he was an oyster farmer in Australia. His brother's a movie star and he was just on MKR. My Kitchen Rules is awesome. React to that on Twitch. Australian Survivor. Can you watch? Isn't that shit like, what is the word? Like, isn't that shit copyrighted? Can you not watch that on Twitch? I guess if you can support terrorists on Twitch, why couldn't you watch Australian Survivor on Twitch? Where to watch? I need a prime time subscription on YouTube to watch this shit. I never really watched Survivor. I don't think I've seen more than like 2 seasons. Oh, MKR? Dude, I could fucking watch the shit out of this. What season was it? My Kitchen Rules season with Thor's brother. What season was it? Rob Hemsworth in 2015. Season 6, guys. We're watching season 6 of. We're watching an episode of MKR. A classic season. There are 47 episodes that are 60 minutes long. What the fuck? How do they have this? What is happening? There's no way. There's 47 hours in one season of this show. Well, we gotta start somewhere. It's on Tubi. Is it legal to watch this?
We're not chefs. We're really honest home cooks.
We're really honest home cooks. Is it legal to watch My Kitchen Rules? Am I gonna be arrested? Dude, MXC is fucking awesome. Most Extreme Elimination Challenge. Kenny and Vic, my boys. Yo, give us like an hour on peak. Yeah, I'm down.
I had an epiphany. Food is my life and food is my passion.
This show, so I watched this when I lived in Australia with my my British cousins who were living there at the time. It's so like, this is so nostalgic for me.
Let's see if these kids can cook.
Like nothing we've seen before.
So if I remember, the point of this show is they get a bunch of people, they invite all the contestants and the judges over to their house, they feed them, and then they pick the best 10, and then they proceed to, you know, challenge them. Pretty sure at one point they put a gun to the head of one of them. And they're like, if you don't cook a good goddamn meal, we're gonna summarily execute your mother live on Australian TV. The guy locks eyes with them and goes,
It looks like what
do
we
it.
feed our cats at home.
So fishy. I've just totally lost my cool.
Are you being deliberately mean at me, Kat?
I feel like I've just killed Bambi.
This year, one team will create MKR history.
I'm giving you a 10.
10.
10.
It is raining tens.
This is the highest score ever on My Kitchen Rules history.
Please
don't wake me up.
Is it okay? French accents just feel so pretentious at all times.
A secret twist.
What the hell is going to happen?
Will change the rules completely.
This will be like nothing you've ever done before.
The secret rules where they just blow the mother's brains out. You have to cook with the rest of the body. I'm pretty sure the one guy makes like a real mean fillet of her left hand. He sous vide her.
Unbelievable that two chicks from Mount Isa have made it all the way to kitchen headquarters. We're a long way from home, but we wouldn't be anywhere else right now.
When it comes to food, we are.
I would love just a reality show where the people walk in and they just are fucking unimpressed.
Success.
They just get in there like this is just like a studio stage. Like those doors don't even lead anywhere. We're just lined up out there like assholes.
And here we are. We're here to play.
Hey, there's Chris Hemsworth's brother.
Check this out. We're definitely not in Texas anymore. It's time to saddle up.
That is also how every Australian person sees American people, either as deep South Texans or morbidly obese man-children.
It's pretty overwhelming seeing Pete and Manu for the first time.
Oh my god, they're actually in the same room as us.
It's all become real.
This thing's on. We're rolling. So here we go.
Teams.
It feels so weird just to be watching a TV show on stream. Not gonna lie. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that. Feels like disingenuous almost. Feels like almost like you have like nothing to do, so you just like fucking fill it. You just like fill it with cream. It's like every failed dessert becomes an eclair because you can just make up vanilla cream and then just stuff the ever living piss out of it. What's peak? Actually, stream, I'm gonna end here. Mostly because I need to take a piss and eat something. I won't be back on tomorrow because tomorrow's D&D. Saturday I have shit to do. I think it's Kirsten's dad's birthday, but I'm gonna plan a longer stream Sunday. I think Sunday I'm gonna try to get my TikTok video out this weekend. And then 2, I think Sunday we're going to be going over Pokemon cards for potential grades as long as no political news hits the fan. So as long as a bunch of right-leaning dick sucks, none of them, make any more public appearances this week.